Hi there, I'm Amelia Freebie, and this is my tiny tarot practice. Welcome. Today's card is the Knight of Wands. Now, in the symbology of tarot, as we've been discussing, wands is associated with fire, and knights are also associated with fire. So the Knight of Wands is fire on fire. And as Rachel Pollack reminds me in 78 Degrees of Wisdom, fire is also associated with movement, and knights are associated with movement. So we have fire on fire and movement on movement. This card is a potential wildfire, for sure. I like to think of the Knight of Wands as fanning the flames, as making everything grow more passionate, more intense, more creative. In the image of this card on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we see a knight bedecked in, metal armor. They've got this flowing red plume that looks like a flame coming from their hat. I don't know what they call the metal thing that goes on your head when you're wearing full armor. Also wearing a bright yellow tunic over the armor that has salamanders, lizards on it. And I love how Rachel Pollack writes that the lizards, because their tail doesn't reconnect to their head in this circular image, this card represents incomplete action. I love that little bit of symbology there. But this figure, this person in the armor and the tunic is on a horse that is reared up on its back legs and is just ready to run. There's so much movement in this card. You can see it in how the tunic is flowing backwards from the knight. There is so much movement here. Again, movement on movement, fire on fire. Action and incomplete action in that symbol of the salamander. The Knight of Wands is such a powerful card for anyone seeking creative release, for anyone trying to channel a project or a feeling that just needs to move forward. This is certainly not a card of stuckness. So if you are feeling stuck and you want to take on an archetype from tarot, the Knight of Wands could be a beautiful archetype to take on. Perhaps with a slight caution that this is fanning the flames. So that requires perhaps some support from other cards or from other suits. As you fan the flames, you might need a drink of water or an archetype from the cups to quench your thirst. You might need a moment of air for some planning for where you'd like these flames to be fanned and where you want this fire to go and how you want to channel it in what direction. I've worked with the Knight of Wands myself in moments where I really needed newfound energy for a creative project, or where I wanted to kind of rekindle a spark in a relationship to bring back adventure and spontaneity and passion to something that perhaps had been living more in the mundane, a relationship that had been living more in the mundane. I love working with the court cards as archetypes for bringing new energies into our lives and for channeling these shared journeys over space and time. The Knight of Wands is certainly an invitation to rekindle any fires that you might have left untended. Thank you so much for tuning in to my tiny tarot practice. You can find the books and resources that I mentioned in this episode in my specially curated bookshop that's linked below. If you make a purchase through that link, I'll receive a small affiliate payment that helps me keep this podcast going. Thank you so much, as always, for your support. I hope the Knight of Wands can serve as kindling and rekindling the sparks in your life.